Hey there, fellow comic book aficionados. Welcome back. David Eon here with another video showcase taking a look at underrated, affordable keys. And if you hear trampling, that's the cats chasing each other upstairs. I hear the pitter-patter of little footsteps. Anyways, underrated keys, not spec. I'm not telling you, oh, this guy's going to be in the next Marvel film or whatever, although he should be. And I'll explain that here in a minute. This, of course, is the first appearance of Black Goliath, who was in Luke Cage Power Man number 24. He also had his own short-lived series, I guess you could call it a mini-series, because it only lasted for 5 issues, and it got canceled primarily because they couldn't get a writer to stick to it. Now, the first appearance of Black Goliath, not to be confused with the first appearance of Bill Foster, who is Black Goliath, because Bill Foster was a pre-existing character. Now, I don't have handy a copy of that to show you. That would be Avengers number 32. And I'll put a picture of that up here. So in Avengers 32, he's just plain old Bill Foster. And that was in 1966. These books are from 1975. So they took 9 years to develop this character. And he's a, genius type person called in Avengers to help Hank Pym. And this is why I said he should be in the Marvel films. That's no guarantee, while Marvel's digging and swapping people to try to pretend to be inclusive. They have pre-existing characters that would already work. And they're doing the Ant-Man franchise. They're on the 3rd film now. And he's connected with Hank Pym. Hank Pym was stuck being giant in Avengers 32, if I'm remembering the storyline correctly here. He calls in Bill Foster to help him with the formula so he could shrink back to a normal size. Bill Foster at some point rips off the formula, does it to himself, and that would be in here. First appearance of Black Goliath and that of course is, like I said, Power Man number 24, and I'll show this to you. Bizarre storyline. He does it to himself on purpose to impress his ex-wife. He makes himself into Giant Man. I'm not Giant Man, I'm sorry. He makes himself into Black Goliath. Black Goliath is his circus name, by the way, because he makes himself 10 feet tall, joins the circus, contacts his ex-wife and says, "Oh, I messed around with Hank Pym's formula and now I'm 10 feet tall and I'm stuck this way. Can you come and help me out? I'm working in a circus because I'm a freak now." And she shows up with Luke Cage. And yeah, that's something that Bill Foster hadn't anticipated. So, of course, a fight ensues. Thanks, Stan Lee, because, this is one of his projects. I don't know if Stan Lee specifically wrote this one, though. I think that, let me see if it's in here, and I'll tell you real quick. Tony Isabella wrote this one. But I think that the original Bill Foster character was created by Stan Lee when he was doing Avengers. And as they are fighting, they find out that the circus is like some kind of evil circus, and so the two of them join forces and fight the circus. Yeah, it's like that. And this was 1975 again, and directly from this, the second appearance, so this is a double key here, you see the Black Goliath, also 1975. This is the second appearance of Bill Foster as Black Goliath, and his first #1 title. And like I said, because of them not being able to nail down a writer, they just kind of let it go. But he appears here and there. He was in a bunch of like Marvel 2-in-1s, and he appeared in the Avengers again a few times. so on and so forth, until he was killed by anti-Thor eventually, because there was a Thor clone. I forget what they called that character, but he ends up killing Black Goliath, and they had to bury him like giant size because they couldn't shrink him back down, his corpse. So he is dead in the continuity. Bill Foster is dead anyway, even though someone else copied him. But these are books. If you wanted to get the trifecta here, and again, I apologize for not having a Avengers 32 handy, but if you got Avengers 32, Luke Cage 24, and Black Goliath 1 in a fairly decent grade, you know, not like a 9.6 or something, but in a halfway decent condition like these, you'd probably pay around $100 for all three, because nobody is looking at this. And again, this ties in with the Ant-Man universe, because he's an associate of Hank Pym's, and that's how he got to be Giant Man in the first. I keep saying Giant Man. That's how he got to be Black Goliath in the first place. I didn't open this one up because I just finished cleaning and pressing this one. I wanted to make sure it stayed flat. But again, I mean, they're really inexpensive book. I mean, that's like a $20 book. And the rest of the issues, I mean, you probably wouldn't pay more than $10 for any of the other ones. That's number 4, where for some reason he's fighting Stiltman of all people. Stiltman is on stilts. Trip him. End of story. And then of course the Luke Cage Power Man 24, which again, you wouldn't pay more than $50. Even in a really, really high grade, sweet looking copy, you probably wouldn't pay more than $50 for it, unless it was already graded. And then the Avengers 32, nobody's looking for that book. Avengers 32 is an inexpensive title. So I just wanted to share that with everyone. This is my underrated key recommendation. Looking for Black Goliath, or taking a look at Black Goliath today. You could probably find every appearance he ever had real cheap. Just digging through the bins at shows and have them all. And again, not a spec. I don't know if Marvel's ever going to do anything with this character, but I think it's an underrated character. It's interesting. It's an interesting enough character. Thoughts? Please do let me know what you think of that in the comment section down below. Does that sound like a title that would be interesting to you? Would you like me to continue doing underrated key videos? Let me know in the comment section if you're enjoying this segment. And if that's it, then what more can I say but stay tuned, folks, because there is more to come.